You know, over the past couple of days, I've been thinking, with this Kyrie Irving situation going on in the NBA, it's led me to question, is Kyrie Irving about to, retire? Especially with what's going on right now. Are the Brooklyn Nets going to give up on Kyrie Irving? Is KD going to, say enough is enough and say, let's trade him? And possibly Kyrie will get traded. And, apparently sources of news have said that he's threatened to retire if he's traded. So it's led to me to just review Kyrie Irving's situation and how he's evolved. Especially with what's going on lately, with him refusing to take the vaccine. As New York rules state, require a vaccine mandate, to for him to perform. The Brooklyn Nets and the Knicks, it's a very strong mandate. Andrew Wiggins, who's also going against, he didn't want to get vaccinated, was forced to, per se, as he said, and he took the vaccine. So Kyrie Irving really is the last big name slash superstar who's refused to take the vaccine, and it's a very tough situation right now going on in Brooklyn. They are a title contender, and they do require Kyrie Irving to be healthy, but so it does kind of turn into a thing of where it's kind of awkward, I believe, because KD and Kyrie, they're not very confrontational, and they're very good friends, and KD has come out and said he's supporting Kyrie Irving. So, and Kyrie Irving the last couple of years has been very, there's been rumors about him, that year in Cleveland when when they threatened to not trade him and sit him out. Kyrie Irving threatened to get season-ending surgery, if they didn't trade him to the Boston Celtics, And in Boston, a lot of controversial stuff went on behind closed doors, and then he forced his way out of there, to go to Brooklyn. And we thought he would be settled, but he's still not managed to find a way to settle down and to find, injuries as well. Every year he gets injured as well, so it's kind of a thing of where, teams, especially around the league, they're even worried about even trading for him, because if they were to trade for him in this current situation to where he would be able to play all 82 games without being vaccinated, he's threatened to, he's threatening to whatever team he goes to, and so that's the reason why. They're very worried about that. But yeah, I just feel like Kyrie Irving, at this moment in time, he seems hell bent, on getting his way, and he doesn't want to be bullied, in the media, and he's very, hell bent on making sure that whatever his decision, he does not want to be forced into doing anything. So, just want to look at that, and it just made me realize, like, so what's next for Kyrie Irving? What's next? Like, honestly, like, because there's no way the Brooklyn Nets can go forward with Kyrie Irving playing half the games. That just cannot work, especially in the playoffs. They're probably not going to have home court advantage, and even if they do, it's going to affect them some way, shape, or form. They could be at home, Game 7, and Kyrie can't play. That would be extremely unacceptable. That's the reason why they have to get this sorted, and this, for me, is the biggest news story of the NBA season. If Kyrie Irving, what is he going to do? Because this completely changed the title picture in the East and in the NBA, totally. Because if he's not available half the games, that's going to affect the playoffs, and it's going to affect the regular season, and it's going to affect the seeding, and that's going to have a triple effect onto the entire NBA and how the rosters are built, and him possibly even retiring from the NBA, which I think is a real possibility, because if you look at how stubborn per se he has been, or let's just say strong-minded, in his words, in his favor, he has not accepted any kind of, reprimand, or been, accepting any kind of, punishment from the NBA. He's very strong, but I believe there's also a bit of me that believes the NBA will make a leniency to, because they know Kyrie Irving is one of the NBA's biggest stars, and they heavily rely on, him to sell the league and Uncle Drew and all the other stuff off the court, and the Kyrie shoes. He has one of the most popular shoes, so superstars do get leniency, and they do have more leeway than role players in terms of rules being bent for them. I feel like New York rule, someone will have to budge. Someone will have to budge, either Kyrie or the New York or the NBA. And the NBA are actually based in New York, so there could be something going on there behind closed doors, so where Kyrie Irving can either budge or maybe meet halfway. But anyways, also on the other hand, you have the situation, the coaching situation with Steve Nash, and that situation in Brooklyn is very, they're very all laid back, laid back characters. James Harden, Kyrie, KD. There is no confrontational teammate that's going to question him, I believe, which also does play into his hands and doesn't play into his hands. With Steve Nash there, second year under his belt, is he going to be more, you know, is he going to be more worried? So far, so good. Coming out of that camp at the moment in training camp, there's been no, words of any like sly comments or sly, you know, attempts to get Kyrie Irving to budge out of this or to, to get vaccinated because right now, James Harden, KD. To be fair, they are a good team, good enough team to win the NBA championship anyway. Regardless, they have some good vets. LaMarcus Aldridge, they picked up Paul Millsap. They brought back Blake Griffin, and you got Joy Harris. So, but yeah, right now with Kyrie Irving's situation, it's led me to review his career, and maybe we have seen the best of him. Maybe we have seen the last of him in the NBA, but we'll have to wait and find out about that. But yeah.